Portugal by a goal to nil in what was very much a smash and grab job, because Spain were pretty blunt, I think is probably the correct word, because they were not doing too badly in terms of keeping possession, which is a big part of their game. But the chances was limited to beyond belief. Like a chance for like Alvaro Morata or one of the Spanish forwards, it's like finding a bottle of water in a desert. It's not happening very often. Uh, I mean, miracles do happen. They did at the end of the game for Spain anyway. But yeah, for Spain, it was just keep the majority of the ball. They probably had about 65% of the possession, but just couldn't create any chances whatsoever with it. The one chance they got, it came from the first time in the game, Nico Williams off the bench, being one of the first players to make a run down one of the wings and knock it back across goal for a tap in for Morata. And that was probably the only time in the entire game that something like that happened. The substitutions definitely made a difference for Spain. Soler and Koke just weren't doing enough on the ball, like in terms of looking to find teammates in good positions. Whereas when Pedri and Gavi came on, there was a lot more positivity in Spain's play. So yeah, the midfield three that they finished the game with definitely suited them a lot more. But yeah, it's still not looking great though for Spain, because that's 2 games in a row now where it's not been a very convincing performance, and I don't think Spain have been putting in that many convincing performances for a while now. They just don't have that sort of fear factor up front that does intimidate opposition defences. But for Portugal, though, they will definitely feel like it's a missed opportunity, because the Nations League it's still something you want to win. If like you're able to get to the finals, you want to get there because it is still a trophy. Because if you're not playing in the Nations League semi-finals and the final, you're just going to be playing boring friendlies. So you may as well try your best to get there. So at least you've got something to play for next summer, when there's not really a lot happening in terms of football. But yeah, they definitely had chances, Portugal. Ronaldo had a good chance. Jota managed to fashion himself a couple of opportunities. Neves had a good shot saved. They definitely created opportunities. They were also unlucky Dani Carvajal didn't score an own goal, because he was bloody close to doing so. It just about went over the crossbar. But yeah, they were definitely making Unai Simon work. Not Unai Simon. Yeah, Unai Simon, sorry. What was I thinking? Yeah, they were definitely making him work for his clean sheet. But yeah, even with Portugal, like they're seen as one of the best European teams. I was going to say in the world out there, but that would have sounded a bit stupid. They're definitely one of the best teams in Europe, is what most people would think. But they just still don't seem to click, I don't think. There's not enough width in the team. They've got Jota and Ronaldo down the middle, and then they've also got Bernardo Silva and Bruno Fernandes in like the attacking midfield roles. But there isn't enough like options out wide. Like you sort of get it when Rafael Leao comes off the bench, but Jota isn't really a wide player, although he did play there for Wolves a fair bit. He's not an out-and-out wide player. He's better down the centre. Same with Ronaldo in the latter years of his career. They've got Ruben Neves and William Carvalho, who are a very good, solid midfield duo, which is good. But I just don't think... I think Bernardo Silva's absolutely fine. I think he suits the system fine, because he can drift out to the right-hand side. But on the left, there isn't enough. So for me personally, I don't think you can play Jota, Ronaldo and Bruno Fernandes. I think one of them needs dropping, and you need to bring a wide player out on the left hand side. When I say you, I mean Fernando Santos, obviously. there's not really too much you or I can do about it, to be completely honest. But yeah. And defensively, Portugal were fine. They didn't have a lot to deal with. I think Spain's goal just came out a surprise more than anything. Like it was almost as though, oh, right, they've actually got the ball into the box for once, because there was so much just knocking it about just inside the Portuguese half from Spain. It was unbelievable. Ferran Torres and Pablo Sarabia, they definitely didn't do enough when they were on the pitch. They weren't making any runs that were being picked out by Soler and Koke. I think it goes both ways, actually. Soler and Koke weren't doing enough, and nor were Torres and Sarabia. So the changes that Luis Enrique made definitely were the correct ones. And I think this game might be able to tell him a fair bit about what sort of starting 11 he should be putting out come the start of the World Cup. Because in my opinion, Gavi and Pedri and Sergio Busquets all need to be playing. I think Rodri and Sergio Busquets doesn't make too much of a difference. Both absolutely superb players. But Rodri even did a role at centre back in the second half, and Spain right now aren't very. They're not very overfilled with like quality centre backs. They've got Pau Torres, who's a very good defender, but a lot of their best centre backs over the past decade are very old now and aren't really getting picked. So yeah, I think Rodri could definitely do a job there if it came down to it. But yeah, I can't see either of these teams winning the World Cup, to be honest. Out of all the teams I've watched recently in the internationals in Europe, Holland I would probably give the best chance of winning the World Cup, to be honest, because none of them really look that impressive. I think Holland looked very good. Italy, despite the fact they had a minor blip, like in World Cup qualifying. Oh wait, Italy aren't going to the World Cup, says the salty English fan. Yeah. But yeah, Holland, I would definitely give the best chance of winning the World Cup, along with probably from South America. I think Argentina and Brazil, that they probably stand a very good chance of winning it as well. But yeah, this means the final four in the Nations League next summer will be Spain, Croatia, Italy, and who's the other one? Oh yeah, of course, Holland. So yeah, that should be interesting. I'm not entirely sure if it's been decided who plays who in the semi-finals yet. I think it's a draw, isn't it? But if I'm picking one to win it out of them, I'd probably go Holland. Because Italy is still, despite the fact they've looked decent in the past couple of games, they're still very much going through a big change in their squad. Croatia, again, a lot of their best players are getting on now. Modric and Rakitic, Perisic, are all very much into their 30s. Yeah, Portugal just don't seem to click at the moment, and yeah, I've said what I've said about all the other three, and Holland just look very good as a entire team right now, so I'd probably give them the best chance. But anyway, thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you next time.